Welcome to Novel Tales, where timeless stories come alive, retold with emotion, suspense, and meaning, so you can experience the world's greatest novels like never before. The story begins in the final, brutal years of the American Civil War. Cannon smoke hangs over a ruined land. Fields once filled with golden crops are now graves. The South is collapsing, and so are the men fighting for it. Among them is a Confederate soldier named Inman. He's tired, not just in body but in soul. He's seen enough blood, enough death, enough empty promises of glory. One day, after being wounded in battle and recovering in a hospital, Inman quietly decides he's done. He's leaving the war. Desertion means death if he's caught. But he no longer cares. All he wants is to go home, back to the mountains of North Carolina, to a small place called Cold Mountain, and to the woman he loves, Ada Monroe. Ada is a preacher's daughter, elegant, educated, and delicate. Before the war, she and Inman had shared something quiet and unspoken. A look, a letter, a hope for a future. But when the war began, he left for battle, and she was left alone in a world that changed overnight. Now, as Inman begins his dangerous journey home, Ada is fighting a war of her own. Her father has died. Her farm is falling apart. She knows nothing of farming, and hunger gnaws at her day and night. And yet help arrives in the form of Ruby Thewes, a tough, sharp mountain girl with calloused hands and no patience for pity. Ruby teaches Ada how to survive, to milk cows, plant corn, chop wood. She teaches her the harsh truth of the land. You can't pray a field into growing, you have to work it. Meanwhile, Inman walks across a land shredded by war. He avoids soldiers, slave catchers, and bounty hunters, hunting deserters like wolves. Every mile is a story, a glimpse of America's pain. He meets a preacher who has fallen into sin, a widow struggling to survive, slaves escaping toward freedom, and farmers starving in silence. Each encounter changes him, peeling away the soldier's hardness, revealing the man underneath. He learns that war does not just kill the body, it eats the spirit. And yet, hope keeps him walking, the hope of Ada and Cold Mountain. Back at Cold Mountain, Ada is changing too. She who once lived by poetry now lives by sweat and soil. Under Ruby's guidance, she becomes strong. Not the fragile preacher's daughter anymore, but a woman who can survive. When she looks at the mountain peaks at sunset, she whispers to herself, if he's alive, he'll come home. And somewhere far away, Inman looks at those same mountains and whispers, if she's waiting, I'll make it. But the world is not kind to dreamers in wartime. The Home Guard, brutal men hired to hunt deserters, are everywhere. They kill without mercy. Inman hides in forests, crosses rivers, starves, and bleeds. Once he's captured, but narrowly escapes. Another time he saves a young woman from being assaulted, only to be hunted again. Each moment tests him. Each choice shows who he truly is. By the time he nears Cold Mountain, he's no longer the same man who left. His uniform is torn, his hair wild, his eyes haunted, but his heart still beats for Ada. When Inman finally reaches Cold Mountain, Ada almost can't believe it's real. He appears at the edge of her farm, silent, thin, scarred, but alive. Their reunion is quiet, almost sacred. They don't speak much, they don't need to. In that moment, everything they endured finally makes sense. They spend a few days together, sharing stories, laughter, and the peace they've both been searching for. It feels like the war is finally over. It feels like redemption. But fate has one last cruelty to give. Inman and Ada are caught by a group of Home Guards. A gunfight breaks out. Inman is shot, and this time he doesn't rise. He dies just as he lived, walking toward peace, toward love, toward home. When Ada finds him, she doesn't cry out. She kneels beside him, the snow falling softly, and whispers, "You made it home. Years later, she lives on with Ruby and Ruby's child. The farm thrives, the land heals, and though Ada never forgets, she learns what Inman's journey truly meant, that love and goodness can survive even in a world broken by war. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments what novel you'd like me to tell next.